Hari bol.
Mataji, you continue.
Yeah, okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, welcome you all the devotees. Third canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Many congratulations and compliments to all of you, because all the devotees who are attending this Shrimad Bhagavatam session every day without fail, it's already, I said, hats off to you. And it's a big compliment. This is not easy to be present in all the sessions, and that too in such a busy hour. But without fail, all of you are coming every day, 9:30 to 10:30. This is the dedicated time for Shrimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna will definitely bless you all. And without all of you, this session would have not been possible. So credit goes to all our wonderful, enthusiastic, and very disciplined devotees, participants. So very welcome to His Grace Gaura Chandra Gopinath Prabhu. Hari
Hare
Bol,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, over to you, Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Savanachari Yamuna Tira Savanachari Jayoradam Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Maya Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Anantare Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Anantare Jaya Gauranithai Jaya Gauranithai Gauranithai Jaya Gauranithai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parigvacharya Stotra Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. A humble obeisances to all the devotees who are assembled here. Welcome to the Bhagavatam, third canto. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Udire Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamagyam Tadati Swapatandikam Mandekam Shri Guru Shri Udapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam cha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam cha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Deshadharine Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sude Deve Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpataru besha kripa sindhu vayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Grim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Deenadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hare Om Tat Sat. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimade. Hare Krishna. I need volunteers. Oh, Meenakshi Mataji has already raised the hand. Please read
Hare
the
Krishna,
shloka.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, so the format is we would read all the 5 shlokas, Prabhupada translation purport. Then
Okay,
please carefully you have to listen to the purport and you're going to answer. Today I'm not going to take a session. I'm going to do only question answer session because the title also whether ask questions, so you also ask question to me today. Okay, so you have to read carefully. What are the important points you felt it? So you're going to tell the points. Okay, no problem. Hare Krishna. Please, Mataji. So please note down your important points, then we will discuss. Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evametat Pura Prashto Maitreyo Bhagavan Kila Shatravanam Pravishtena Tyaktva Swagram Riddhimata. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadev Goswami said, after renouncing his prosperous home and entering the forest, King Vidura, the great devotee, asked this question of his grace, Maitreya Rishi. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, so now there are 2 key important things which we are seeing here. One is that prosperous home, why did Vidura leave his home, enter into the forest? Number 1. Number 2, why did he choose Maitreya Rishi? There are so many other rishis, but why did he choose Maitreya Rishi? Okay, so these are the 2 important things we will discuss in our thing. Shobha Mataji, the next one, please.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Yeah.
Text number 2. Yatva ayam mantra Krishna Bhagavan Akhileshwaraha Pauravendra Hitva Pradiveshat Masatkritam. Translation by Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What else is there to say about the residential house of the Pandavas? Sri Krishna, the Lord of everything, acted as your minister. He used to enter that house as if it were his own, and he did not take any care of Duryodhana's house. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Can other Mataji can read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna, may I, Prabhu?
Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. According to the Gaudiya Achintya Bheda Tattva philosophy, anything which satisfies the senses of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is also Sri Krishna. For example, Sri Vrindavana Dhama is non-different from Sri Krishna. Tad Dhama Vrindavanam. Because at Vrindavana, the Lord enjoys the transcendental bliss of his internal potency. Similarly, the house of the Pandavas was also the source of transcendental bliss for the Lord. It is mentioned here that the Lord identified the house with his own self. Thus, the house of the Pandavas was as good as Vrindavana. And Vidura should not have given up that place of transcendental bliss. Therefore, the reason for his quitting the house was not exactly family misunderstanding. Rather, Vidura took the opportunity to meet Rishi Maitreya and discuss transcendental knowledge. For a saintly person like Vidura, any disturbance due to worldly affairs is insignificant. Such disturbances, however, are sometimes favorable for higher realization, and therefore Vidura took advantage of her family misunderstanding in order to meet Maitreya Rishi. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, there are again a couple of other points which we'll be discussing. One is that Achintya Veda Tattva. Prabhupada is talking about that. So we will see in this context why Prabhupada is bringing this philosophy. And the Lord Krishna identified Pandava's house, his own house, as good as Vrindavan. So if you are in Vrindavan, but everybody wants to go to Vrindavan, but we see Vidura is going out of Vrindavan. So how do we understand? So everybody wants to be with Krishna, right? If Krishna is there, your senior guru is there, everybody wants to be with them. But here, Vidura leaving the Lord and going to the forest. So we want to discuss why is that. And the other aspect is any disturbance to the worldly affairs is insignificant for the devotees. Now, how do we apply in our life? Or why it is so insignificant for the devotees, right? These are some of the points. Please note it down. So you're going to ask question, I'm going to answer them. Okay. So next one.
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Rajovacha kutrakshatur bhagavata maitrayena shasangamaha kada va saha samvada etad varnaya nah prabho. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The king asked Sukadeva Goswami, where and when did the meeting and discussion take place between Saint Vidura and His Grace Maitreya Muni? Kindly oblige my lord and describe this to us. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Exactly as Shaunaka Rishi inquired of Suhuta Goswami and Suhuta Goswami replied, so Srila Sukadeva Goswami replied to King Parikshit's inquiries. The king was very anxious to understand the meaningful discussion that took place between the two great souls. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Okay, Parikshit Maharaj is about to die. First two cantos are over. And Sukadeva Goswami is ready to explain about the planetary system, but the Parikshit Maharaj stops. Wait. So I want to know about this conversation because in the first canto we have seen actually Vidura goes, asks the Samvada and comes back and tells the Dhritarashtra, why are you still staying in Yudhishthira's house? You're supposed to go. So he advises him. He takes his brother Gandhari along with they go to the Himalayas and the meditation. You all read it in the first canto. Now Parikshit Maharaj is supposed to die, and you should have jumped directly into Vrindavan pastimes or some other topic. Two cantos are over, but still he wants to know what is the conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. And this entire canto and the next entire canto, it's only conversation of Vidura and Maitreya, such a 12 cantos, out of 2 cantos completely given to this conversation. Then there must be something, right? Unless it's important. Any single word in Bhagavatam, it has a meaning, right? It's not just simply written for the sake of written. So everything, there is something which is dedicated for 2 cantos means there is something important. So we're going to see why the 2 great souls talking is very important, right? So that's a significance. Let's see what, okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Yeah, please.
Nahi alparthodayastasya vidurasya malatmanaha tasmin variyasi prashna sadhuvado brahmataha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Saint Vidura was a great and pure devotee of the Lord, and therefore his question to His Grace Rishi Maitreya must have been very purposeful on the highest level and approved by learned circles. Purport.
Yeah, go ahead.
Purport. Questions and answers among different
Nataji,
classes of...
somebody can take the opportunity.
Yes, Prabhuji. Oh, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
There are 3 more participants raised.
Shall I, Prabhuji?
May I?
Anyone who is not read already?
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Question and answers among different classes of men have different value. Inquiries by mercantile men is a business exchange cannot be expected to be highly purposeful in spiritual values. Question and answers by different classes of men can be guessed by the caliber of the persons concerned. In Bhagavad Gita, the discussion between Lord Sri Krishna and Arjuna, the Supreme Person and the Supreme Devotee respectively. The Lord admitted Arjuna to be his devotee and friend, Bhagavad Gita 4.3, and therefore any sane man can guess that the discussion was on the topic of the Bhakti Yoga system. Actually, the whole Bhagavad Gita is based on the principle of Bhakti Yoga. There is a difference between karma and karma yoga. Karma is regulated action for the enjoyment of the fruit by the performer, but karma yoga is action performed by the devotee for the satisfaction of the Lord. Karma yoga is based on bhakti or pleasing the Lord, whereas karma is based on pleasing the senses of the performer himself. According to Shrimad Bhagavatam, one is advised to approach a bona fide spiritual master when one is actually inclined to question from an elevated level of spiritual understanding. A common man who has no interest in spiritual values has no need to approach a spiritual master just as a matter of following fashion. As a student, Maharaja Parikshit was serious about learning the science of God, and Sukadeva Goswami was a bona fide spiritual master in the transcendental science. Both of them knew that the topics discussed by Vidura and Rishi Maitreya were elevated, and thus Maharaja Parikshit was very interested in learning from the bona fide spiritual master. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
So there are three reasons why Acharya says that is very important. One is it is not less important. It means alpa alpartha means it's very important. It's not less important, but it's very much important. The second thing is that Amal Atmanaha is saintly person. It's highly purposeful, and it is also approved by Sadhu Vada. Means this is approved by sages. One is it's approved by sadhus, and it is highly purposeful, and it is not less important topics because these are Amal Atmanaha. They are the great devotees. There are three reasons why this conversation needs to be studied thoroughly. The second thing, the practical application, Prabhupada always writes any translation. For that, what is that in it me? Every time when you read Srila Prabhupada purport, see here we know that it is very important. But Prabhupada, how do we apply in our life? He says, don't approach a spiritual master if you don't have inclination to ask question and elevate yourself. A common man who has no interest in spiritual values has no need to approach spiritual master. This is practical application. I know it's important conversation. By reading it, whatever again, I also need to ask similar question like Vithura, what is asking to Maitreya. When I meet my guru, when I meet in the satsanga, then we also ask question. That's why today I said I will not give class. So you're going to ask question, I'm going to answer it. So the important thing is that how Prabhupada puts everything into practical, right? So let's see 135. Who wants to read?
Yes, Prabhu, may I?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Suta uvacha sa evam rishivaryoyam prishto rajna parikshita pratyahatam subhahu with pritatma shruyatamiti. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Suta Goswami said, the great sage Shukadeva Goswami was highly experienced and was pleased with the king. Thus, being questioned by the king, he said to him, please hear the topics attentively. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
So, even Saunakadi Rishis, they are asking, oh, Suta Goswami, please tell me what is the narration between Vithura and Maitreya. Then immediately remember, this is the same question Parshit Maharaj also asked Sukadeva Goswami. So I will narrate the same thing. So if we see that all the acharyas, all the great souls, they want to hear what is the conversation happening between them. Now the beauty is that Vithura, he has seen Krishna born. He has seen Krishna in person. He's seen most of the activities because he was part of Hastinapur and Krishna used to come. It's just that before the war, he left. But other than that, Krishna has seen day in, day out Krishna in 200 form. Now, what is the necessity for him to go out and find out, ask about, the Lord to Maitreya Rishi, right? It's not that Vidura doesn't know about Krishna. He's been day in, day out seeing it, right? These are very interesting topics. That's what we would see. Now, if any one of you want to call out the points which we remember, so now I talked about many points. So as you call out the points, and I would start explaining more, or we will have more discussion in deep. So can you tell me what is that, the key points learned from today's session?
Hare Krishna
Vidura
Prabhu.
left the prosperous
Why
home.
did Vidura
One
leave
by
the
one.
home?
See, one
Prabhuji?
by one. Okay.
Why did Vidura leave home, Prabhuji?
Why did Vidura choose
Okay, who
Maitreya?
wants to answer? Who wants to answer? Who wants to answer? Why did Vidura leave? Okay, who wants to answer?
Vidura did not, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Vidura did not take the ill treatment of Duryodhana. He took it as a boon and we want to make use of that and go for Vanaprastha in search of knowing more and go into the spiritual life.
As I mentioned, Krishna is here. So why you want to leave Krishna and go?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll try Prabhuji. Vidura
Yeah.
was a devotee of the Lord, but any devotee of the Lord will never think of their own self, Prabhuji. They always are in search of other devotee, other people for them to liberate, Prabhuji. So in that way, you would have gone to Dhritarashtra and liberate him.
Partially, maybe, but he did not really think that I am a great soul, I'm going to deliver. None of the souls thinks that. Any Vaishnava, they never think that I'm great soul. Okay, today I'm going to deliver all the fallen conditioned souls, right? Vidura never thinks that. Vaishnava, Prabhupada never thought I'm going to deliver everyone. He says, it's my order of spiritual master, I'm going, and all my spiritual masters sent all of you. Prabhupada always time and again gave credit to his spiritual master. He never said I did it. So how can Vidura
his humble state, Prabhuji. His humble state, and he wanted.
It's a humble state, but Vaishnava also practically they never think they can do it themselves. They say always see it's Guru's mercy that they could able to do. They never think that they are capable of doing that, delivering many fallen conditioned soul. No, they never do that. They never think that. So that's not the reason.
Prabhuji. For that only Maitreya, he approached Maitreya Rishi and get his guidance, and only under the guidance of a guru one can progress more, Prabhuji, in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
But Krishna himself is there. Brahma here, the compiler of Veda Vyas is there. So what is the problem? There are other rishis. So why? What is the necessity to leave?
After the ashramas, he has to leave to Varna.
Sorry.
After the dharma, he has to leave the family life and go to Vanaprastha.
No, it was not the time for him Vanaprastha. Maybe, but that is not the reason.
Prabhuji, can I try?
Yeah.
Prabhuji, since Duryodhana insulted the Vaishnavas, he was not able to tolerate that. Though he insisted Duryodhana not to do that, but Duryodhana was not in a condition to listen to that, so he was not able to look at it, and that's why he left. It was Vaishnava Nanda which Duryodhana did. That's why he was not able to tolerate it, and he left the place.
That may be external reason. That's not internal reason, because Amala Atmanaga, nobody is envious. These pure Vaishnavas, they never envy of. They never envy, right? So that way they are not, they're not worried. They're not disturbed by the external conditions. Let's say somebody, you are doing some seva, somebody hurt you. Will you stop going to the temple or hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam or doing your devotion service because somebody hurt? And we ourselves, we don't do that. And Vidura is elevated soul. How can somebody can hurt him? Okay, for that we need to understand. First of all, we need to understand that the first question is that why did Krishna think the Pandavas' house is his house? Prabhupada says that the Pandavas' house, Krishna thought his own places. Now, Why Vrindavan Dham is special? Because that satisfies Krishna. So anything which satisfies Krishna's senses must be a Krishna or expansion of Krishna. The reason because only Krishna can be satisfied by Krishna only. There is nothing else in need. Atmarama is completely self-satisfied. Whatever amount you give, whatever you want to do, Krishna doesn't need. So what is that it can satisfy Krishna? The Krishna can satisfy, his senses can be satisfied by Krishna only. So anything which satisfies. When Krishna felt, oh, Pandava's house is my house, my own abode, and like a Vrindavan, Prabhupada compares them to Vrindavan. So it is satisfying means Krishna is feeling the bliss to go to this place, and he find it's not different from his place. And, that's what he considers a Pandava's house. And Krishna used to come there and quite frequently interact with the Pandavas. So when the abode Astinapur or Indraprastha, where Krishna is coming, feeling his own abode himself, and he's feeling so comfortable, why did Vithura, somebody who is elevated soul, not because of petty reason, Duryodhana insulted, oh, let me go, I'm getting angry. Prabhupada also tells in the purport that he did not leave because of family issues. He clearly called out also in the purport. See, that's why I said, please note down the purport. In the purport, Prabhupada said he is not left because of family issues. Now, the first question is, anything which satisfies Krishna, then it must be Krishna, expansion of Krishna, or is Krishna's himself. Either it could be Vrindavan, or it could be devotees, or the devotion, or it's the bhakti, which is satisfying Krishna, means that's basically because Krishna is satisfying himself, or it is expansion, or it is mercy, or is the energy of Krishna. That's why Krishna is able to satisfied. So that's the number one point. Number 2 point, why did Vidura leave? Prabhupada said it's not a family issue because of he left. And second thing is, it's bewildering. Why somebody's leave Vrindavan, where abode of Krishna, every day you can go and see him, every day you go and talk to him, every day you can appreciate his beauty. And you have Vaishnavas like Pandavas and Bhishma Pitamaha. Why did you leave that association and go to different place? So for that, you need to understand there are 5 types of Vrindavan. So when we say Vrindavan, it is state of consciousness. It is not a place. Mathura, it is there. Somebody book a train, go to Delhi. From Delhi, you take to Mathura, Mathura to Vrindavan. I have arrived at Vrindavan. No, it is not a physical map in the location. Of course, it is there, but it is the state of the consciousness. So there are 5 types of Vrindavan Acharyas talks about. One is that Goloka Vrindavan, the original Goloka Vrindavan, where we came from. The second is Bhoma Vrindavan, where physically it's located currently now in Delhi, closer to that Mathura Vrindavan, what we talk about. That's a time where Krishna was living. Krishna was performing his pastime, Bhoma Vrindavan. He manifested Govardhan. All this lila happened when Krishna was present in this planetary system. Now the third Vrindavan is the Gupta Vrindavan. What is this Gupta Vrindavan? Now it is there, but we can't see. Chintamani, we can't see the wish-fulfilling trees, desire trees, we don't see. We don't see the beautiful, Jamuna is flowing. Now there's a little bit water is there. It's not like described like previously what is in Krishna. We don't see many palaces and things like that. Now in our eyes, it is curtained, Gupta, because we are not able to see. The fourth one is any Vrindavan is established because of the desire of a pure Vaishnava, like Srila Prabhupada. He created a new Vrindavan. He said, new Vrindavan and this Vrindavan, there is no difference. I love to create. And he created new Dwaraka. Like that, he knew Mayapur. There are different places he created because of the wish of the Vaishnava, like Govardhaneka village currently. Now, some of the Acharyas expressed they love to create one in Mumbai. So they created a Govardhaneka village, a Vrindavan setup. So based on the desire of the Acharya, it can manifest. Now, the fifth one, the important one, is the art of the Vaishnavas. In the heart of the Vaishnavas, that's why I said Vrindavan is not a place, it is the state of the mind. If somebody is always thinking about Vrindavan, somebody is always thinking about Krishna, that is Vrindavan. Out of this 5, the last one is very important. That's the reason Vidura left this place and went. Now, let us see Goloka Vrindavan. Unless you are purified 84 lakh species of life, you've done progress in the bhakti up to Bhava Prema, that is the only reason, that's the only where you can go. It is very difficult. Second thing is Bhoma Vrindavan. Now, Krishna is left already, the pastimes are done. Now, We were not there part of that. So we can't go to the Bhauma Vrindavan. The third one is the Gupta Vrindavan, which is currently where we can go, but we don't really should. We see out of yellow, somebody is selling Sital Balm, or somebody is telling something, monkey, somebody is harming the entire street of Krishna Balram Mandir. We don't really appreciate the Vrindavan where what we read in Shrimad Bhagavatam, right? And unless somebody is pure, very elevated soul, pure Vaishnava, they can every day see Krishna is playing in the Kesi Ghat. They can see the Brahmanda Ghat, Krishna is playing, eating mud, taking cows pastures. Only pure devotees can see. Not many of us can see. No, that's also ruled out. Now, what about the desire of Vaishnavas where the Vrindavan is created? The potency of the Dham is revealed as long as the followers or the residents of the new Vrindavan maintains the standard. If they don't follow the standard, the potency of the Dham will go again. Of course, it is same as the Vrindavan. It is new Vrindavan or the actual Vrindavan. It is the same potency, but the people who live there, they're supposed to be in that consciousness. They're supposed to be pure. They're supposed to follow all those standards. Then the potency will remain. Otherwise, it will vanish. So that's also difficulties there. But this heart of the Vaishnavas is very, very important. Many places in Vrindavan, if you see, it was destroyed completely. And some of them were hidden, the deities were hidden, but the devotees were always thinking the Lord in the heart. They could re-establish. Now, in front of you, there might be Acha Vigraha. Krishna must be manifested in the form of wooden, or he may be manifested in the form of metal. But if there is no bhakti, there is no standards of worship followed, on time there is no offering, with love and devotion, we don't cook and serve the Lord, they are at home. But Lord may be physically present. For example, Duryodhana, Lord was physically present. It does not mean that Krishna is revealing to you. You might see Krishna face to face, or you might see in the Achaveraga, you might be closer, you might be doing deity worship day in, day out. It does not mean that Krishna is giving mercy or you understood Krishna. Where you can understand Krishna, and the devotees, in the heart of the devotees, Krishna is always there. That's where Krishna would manifest. So Vitura searching for Krishna, it is the state of the consciousness. You want to go and see where the Krishna Katha is happening, where the hearts of the devotees, they carry Krishna. That's his actual Vrindavan. It is not that physically proximity to Guru, proximity to lordships. It does not mean that you understood Krishna. It can never be understood. It's only by hearing process. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very important. So first two questions Parshit Maharaj asked. What is the general duty of a person, especially who is going to die in 7 days? Right? These are the questions he's asking. So then Sukadev Goswami answers them. First of all, he says, what is don't you need to do? And then the do's. Then Shrotavya, the Rajendra, then says all these materialistic people, they talk about the normal topics, mundane topics, you should not do that. Then he says, Shrotavya Kirtitavas, yes, Smratavas Chache Chatapayam. He says, you should hear, chant glories of the Lord. That's a process you should follow. So Krishna can be seen through ears, not through eyes. Most of us, we go Vrindavan, we want to see, but this is the process where in the heart of the devotees where the Lord resides, that's where you can understand. So the reason for Maitreya, Vitura leaving to Maitreya is that, I know this is the opportunity for me. Let us go and see understand the Lord. Now it is like, see, the bhakti is like a machine where you put all the miseries, it comes out as a blessings or mercy of the Lord. Vitura, when he was cursed, he was asking to go out of he has been, insulted by Duryodhana. He thought it is, blessings. The devotee sees them as a blessings. Like if you put a sugar can, you put the sugar and it comes out as a sugar cane juice. Similarly, any problem, it is like, let's say, one small baby is there. There is a big wrestler is there. The small baby is with anger going and hitting the wrestler. Will wrestler feel anything? You would laugh and you will feel like so much pleasure, because small baby, what it can do. It's like a, small itching, it has been for the wrestler. So the wrestler doesn't feel any problem. Similarly, the Vaishnavas, they see big issues, miseries, but they don't see as a misery. They see as a mercy. So what happened to Nala Kuvera Manikreva when Narada cursed them? to become the tree, but the most beautiful thing happened is they've been seeing Krishna, which nobody can get. Even Devaki, Vasudev, they could not able to see Krishna's childhood pastime. And this Nalakuvera Manigiri were watching in the courtyard of Krishna and seeing what are the pastimes doing it. Who can be the most fortunate people? Is it a curse or the gift? It is actually the boon this were enjoying. So similarly, Vidura, when he got this incident, he was so jubilant. And Rama and Sita always been thinking that, we need to go to the forest, have association with the Vaishnavas. And as soon as Dasarada said, you should go to, not his father, but of course, Kaikeyi told you should go to the forest. Then Rama face did not change. He is so much smile on his face. And somebody can say, how can cruel, somebody can to send Rama, but he was so happy. Oh, my desire is coming fulfilled. I'm going to meet so many devotees in the forest. And Sita was so blissful to go along with Rama. So some of the things we can't understand. Queen Kunti, when a problem comes, she feels it as more opportunity to see Krishna. So these are highest level of understanding. The seeing Krishna in separation, not closer by. Every day I'm seeing Krishna, so I'm becoming a great devotee. It is not like that. By hearing, discussing about Krishna, asking many questions, they completely try to understand Krishna. Now,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Why did Vidura go only to Maitreya Muni Prabhuji?
That's the next question. We'll answer them. So other thing happened is Duryodhana started offensive. Somebody told they were offending the Vaishnavas. Whenever you do offenses, either it is in the temple or deity altar or any other place, that Krishna would not reciprocate. He might be there in the Archa Vigraha form, but Krishna would not reciprocate. Wherever there is a heart beaming with the love of God, that's where Krishna would reciprocate. So here we see the Pandavas been, first is they're not given a proper place. They've been punished. So he did not like the Vaishnava Aparadh. Second thing, the Lord himself, Duryodhana tried to capture the Lord, and he didn't like it, the Lord being insulted. That's the reason Vidura left, because he knows that Krishna will not come to this place. Why would come? Because a lot of offenses happening. So most of the places we don't follow the standard. We don't try to do the deity worship standard. The Lord does not manifest or does not give the full reciprocation. So wherever there is a proper deity worship happening, you can see that when we go to Mayapur, Vrindavan, the standard is so high that you will pull into the atmosphere. Why it is not happening more other places than in my house? That's because the standard in which I do worship, that the devotees go there, they do in different level of worship. So the Lord is same. So same marble deities I can also have, I can keep it in my house. But will that same reciprocation will be there, like Nrsimhadev pastimes in Mayapur? It may not, because the love and devotion on which they worship, the standard on which they worship, that's where the Lord manifests. It's not the physical proximity is important. So now you understand, out of this five Vrindavan, the heart of the Vaishnava, the state of consciousness is very important than the actual presence with the Lord. So that's the reason he left that place. And somebody can ask question, you would have gone to Vrindavan, or you would have gone to Mathura, or you would have gone to Dwaraka. Why he did not go to Dwaraka? He went to Maitreya Rishi. Why only to Maitreya Rishi? Right? So this is the next question somebody asked. Actually, if you see Maitreya Rishi, he is not a pure Vaishnava. He's a mixed Vaishnava. It says Jnana Bhakta. He mixed bhakti with a little bit of Jnana. Jnana Mishra Bhakti. So he performs Jnana Mishra Bhakti. And actually, if you see that Maitreya Rishi, he was given audience at the end of the time of the death of Krishna, and where Uddhava is talking to him, and Krishna is explaining the Uddhava Gita. The Uddhava Gita was shared by the two people. One is Uddhava himself, and there is one more person who is Maitreya Rishi. There is no one else. These are the only two people. So Krishna would have chosen at the time of leaving. He chose Uddhava because he's very close, dear devotee of the Lord. We can understand. But you would have chosen somebody else to be there. Vyasadeva, or there are so many choices are there. But Krishna chose to Maitreya to be there. So that's the reason where Vidura was asking. So now we need to understand that And the purport Prabhupada writes, it is for the benefit of Maitreya Rishi, because Maitreya Rishi was a friend of Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva and Maitreya Rishi are, we can say, in equals or friendship. They had a good relation. They always used to discuss spiritual topics. But, he's more little bit inclined towards the jnana aspect as well. But due to Ajnana Sukriti, Prabhupada writes in 3.49 in the translation, because of the Ajnana Sukriti, somehow some devotion service, some part of it unknowingly is done. So Krishna has given him opportunity to completely purify and become pure Vaishnava. It is benefit for the Maitreya Rishi. He spoke the Uddhava Gita. Uddhava knows about it. He's already pure Vaishnava. Just for the benefit of Maitreya Rishi, he spoke. The second aspect is, Vidura did approach Uddhava. We will see in the 4th or 5th chapters of this topic. Uddhava is younger to Vidura, because you can see Maitreya Rishi is as equal age as the Vyasadeva. Now Vidura is the son of Vyasadeva. Now if you see Uddhava is still younger than the Vidura. So now the beautiful aspect is what we can learn is that first, there is Guru, there is no age. There is no age bar for accepting a guru. A person who knows science of Krishna consciousness, we can accept in guru. So Vidura did not consider, Uddhava is a small boy compared to me, less age. Let me not take. He did approach first Uddhava, saying that please instruct me on Krishna consciousness. Then Uddhava felt, at age he is quite senior. How can I do that? Then he said, you go and meet Maitreya. That's how he directs them to Maitreya. There is opportunity because Maitreya is nearby. He is also meditating in the Saraswati river. So it's better that, he can learn from him. And Uddhava directed Vidura to go and take it from Maitreya Rishi. So there are a lot of aspects we can learn when somebody is senior to us. We can always appropriately direct to them, to other people. Second aspect is what we can learn is, irrespective of age and thing, you should accept who is qualified in the Krishna consciousness. When Parikshit Maharaj was asking, what should I do? Everybody is giving their opinion, every rishis. You do that, some karma kandis, karma yoga talked about, somebody's jnana yoga, everybody was telling different thing. And Parikshit Maharaj confused. Then he said, tell me one thing, what should I do? I'm going to die in 7 days. That's where Sukadeva Goswami is coming. And he's been chased by the small girls and boys. They're throwing stone at him, and as soon as he comes, Narada Rishi, his father, including Vyasadeva, stands up. Entire assembly stands up. And he's been given a seat and he's been asked to speak. That's because the elevated is just a, 16 less than a 16-year-old boy compared to all the stalwarts sitting there. They all started hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam. So they all accepted him as a senior person, as a guru to speak on the Bhagavatam. So it doesn't matter the age of the person. Person who is having the knowledge should be taken as the guru. So that's an important lesson we can learn from him, right? So now the third question is that why the conversation of the two great people are important. Now Arjuna, when he asked Bhagavad Gita, he asked inputs to Krishna. The great people will not talk selfish thing. Prabhupada gives the example of mercantile person. Any businessman, what he will talk about his business. Any film person will talk about his film. Gramya Katha will they talk, but any great souls, those who go, they don't think about only self, liberation, self-realization. No, they talk about the entire humanity, how they can help. The question by sages in Naimisharanya, they ask for the entire humanity benefit. They did not ask for their personal benefit. So similarly, it is approved by the seniors. Second thing, it is not neglected, should be neglected. This conversation needs to be heard. That's the beauty of that, Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami, the Saunaka Rishis, they all want to hear, because it is very important that, they hear this conversation, right? The other aspect we can learn from is that Vidura is never affected by fear. We are all attached to our house, places, job, position, the service, what we do. If something changes, we get, little agitated. Most of the time, we, completely agitated. We got transferred, something else we had to do, we could not able to do, we are agitated. But Vidura did not get agitated because they are all surrendered souls. And when Prabhupada saw the opportunity, right, he left his wife. He was trying to preach. He's trying to do business multiple times, but he just keep on failing in multiple times. Then he thought at least family life he can preach, and he started his preaching activity at home. His wife did not cooperate. So Prabhupada thought, okay, this is an opportunity for me to go and preach to the world. So like Vidura went. But there is one thing you can also see some other time when Prabhupada was complained in the Mumbai Jugu project, there are a lot of problem was happening. And they're telling Prabhupada, they're coming and harass us every day. There is no water, there is no electricity. Wouldn't we leave this place and nearby go to the apartment? Once it's all sorted out legal, we will come back. Prabhupada said, no. Do you want to take some austerity or not? Prabhupada asked. Prabhupada, some places he instructed not to leave the problem and go somewhere else. Some of them he asked them to face the problem. So it's time, place, circumstances we need to take as a call. When we see some problems happening, we need to ask our seniors to see whether I should continue with that, or it's opportunity for me to grow, or something else, there is some other messages available. So you can see different places, different circumstances, devotee take a different stand, but they're all not at all affected by the external consciousness. They always see the opportunity, how they can grow and learn Krishna conscious, right? That's the importance. Now, any other question? Any other questions from these learnings?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry for interrupting. The Gupta Vrindavan, can you just explain one line?
Gupta means the current Vrindavan, what it is there, but it is not visible to your eyes. What you see in Vrindavan, you see Krishna Balram Mandir, the buses, taxi going, and the muddy road with the dirt. But Vrindavan is not like that. Vrindavan is like with the beautiful hills and chintamani's, touchstones and desert trees, fish fulfilling trees. Where is that? You don't see that, right? It's Gupta means covered. And Govardhan is not just 70 feet tall, he is more than that. Today, you don't see the entire Govardhan, right? So it's Gupta means covered, secret, covered.
Sure, Prabhu. And between 4 and 5, what is the difference, Prabhu? Because the desire and heart of Vaishnava, aren't both the same? They
physically manifest another Vrindavan, like Govardhan Eco Village. It's the place where they manifested a Vrindavan entire setup again. It's a desire of Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava. That's also equivalently Vrindavan. There's no difference between this Vrindavan and other Vrindavan.
Got it.
But it is, the potency will remain as the original as long as the followers maintain the standard. As soon as they lose that Vrindavan potency loses.
Clear, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Sorry for that.
So Maharaj in Angeri, Budapest, Sivaram Swami Maharaj, Solne Sivaram Swami Maharaj, he created a new Vrindavan. So like that, many devotees create pure Vaishnavas because of the desire. Not everybody can come to Vrindavan. So he created a Vrindavan atmosphere there. You will see Govardhan, and Eco Village kind of things. They grow the foods, crops, then offer to Krishna. There is a central temple where everybody work together. So like that, Acharyas have a vision. So that's as good as Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Prabhu, we see the priority, right? Goloka Vrindavan, next is Bhauma Vrindavan, Gupta Vrindavan, next desire of Vaishnava.
It is not in the order. One sense it may be, but it's just that there are different varieties, out of which the important one is the fifth one. Yes. There is no hierarchy here, but the Vrindavan can be manifested. Prabhupada carried always Vrindavan wherever he went. He went to America, but he was always conscious of Vrindavan. So in his heart, pure Vaishnava, Krishna is there. So that association, when he spoke Bhagavatam, there was a transformation because Krishna was reciprocating much more than the physically there. So the another story we can hear from the Vaishnavas, the Acharyas, Alvars. The initial Alvars are 4th century, something like that. There are 3 Alvars. They never met each other in different places. There is a place in Tiruvannamalai, Tirukoilur. This is from here about Bangalore, about 6-hour journey, 300 kilometers. There is a temple of Vamanadev. Trivikrama Avadara, sorry, not Vamana, Trivikrama is so gigantic, you can't even see his feet. You also bend and see. The temple also in the door is so small that you can't even see the Lord. So that place they had a they had a darshan of the Lord. 1 hour stayed in a small hut because it was raining, pouring. He didn't have any shelter, so he just went to a place, small hut, where one person can just lie down. There's only one cot and one person can lie down. So he went and lie down because it was night. Tomorrow morning, he want to get up. Then another devotee, Alvar, came. He knocked the door, saying that, there is a space. Can I also be accommodated? He said, only one person can stay, but two of us can sit entire night. But I'm okay to adjust. You can come and sit. I will not lie down. Then immediately after, the third person came. So third person came. Then he said, so two of us can sit, but three of us means we need to stand. So they started glorifying the Lord. When the devotees meet, they not met each other. It is dark. They can't see the face, but they started glorifying the Lord. Vaishnavas, when get together, they glorify the Lord. So the Lord is so much attracted. He came out of the temple and he started knocking the door. Then three of them asked, who is that? He opened the door and you see another person is somehow excusing them and they're feeling suffocated. He said, who are you? Then he said, I'm the Lord. You're talking about my glories and I want to hear them. Now the Lord came personally to hear those katha. So that's where the Alvar started glorifying the Pashram. Immediately everyone 100 shlokas they composed. That's how this Nalayara Divya Prabandham came all about and they started glorifying. So the Lord is so eager to hear. And the Vaishnavas carry the Lord in the heart and they started discussing. That's the place Krishna want to be there. It's not that Akshavigraha, nice worship, that's fine. But the place most beautiful place for Krishna is the heart of the Vaishnavas.
Prabhu, I didn't get the sense when Bhauma Vrindavan is there, why Vidura wanted to opt for the heart of Vaishnava.
Yeah, he went to Vrindavan. He went to meet Uddhava. Uddhava was there. But Uddhava said, sorry, I can't speak. You are too elder to me. Go and meet Maitreya. That's the reason he went to Maitreya. He didn't go to Dwaraka because the Dwarakas also this, he went to Prabhas Kshetra. So then he was asking, because you know that all this Yadavas, they were fighting each other, they're killing, they're not listening to Krishna. So he knew that that's also going to happen, where in Prabhas Kshetra, then, the Yadavas are going to fight each other, they're going to kill each other, Krishna is going to go away. And, and the Yadavas also, not the political situation is not good. So they're also not a favorable situation. So he chose to Uddhava, but Uddhava directed to Maitreya. And Maitreya and both of them had the conversation because Maitreya was purified and he heard Uddhava Gita from Krishna when he was leaving and he was qualified to speak. And it is also his father's level because his father and Maitreya Rishi were at the same level. So Vidura was naturally inclined to hear from him.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Now I have another 4 more, 5 more, 7 more questions. What should we do? It's already 10:24. I have only 6 minutes.
You can give us the
Let us start
questions.
with Prabhu. We'll just do Prabhu.
Extend Prabhu, no problem. We will wait.
Okay, Vidura knows Krishna and seen personally, but why did he ask about creation, recreation from Maitreya? Now, okay, that's all fine. Vidura met Maitreya. He knows in and out of Krishna because he's been seeing, he is born before Krishna. And Krishna is born after him. And, and he's seen completely, and his Pandavas, along with the Pandavas, he's been there, is day and day out. Krishna has seen his 200 form beauty and things like that. Probably would have went and asked about, Maitreya Rishi, tell me more about Vrindavan pastimes or something like that. He's starting again with the basics. Tell me about the creation. Tell me about the 3 Purusha. How did they create? What's happening? Recreation. Brahma, what is he doing it? So this means out of these 10 topics, not some of them is less important, some of them is high important. Similarly, you are asking, right? 5 types of Vrindavan, which one is important? The importance of is or more relevant is that the heart of the Vaishnavas where Krishna love to comes. So similarly, if you have love for Krishna, you will love all the topics equally. So Maharaj Parshit, he didn't bother. He said, no, stop. Don't go to the Poshanam. I want to still understand creation and recreation. Why are you jumping? Let me talk about the Vidura Maitreya Samvad. This is 2 cantos. Imagine 2 cantos is over. Another 3rd and 4th canto, they're going to discuss only the Samvad. He said, let me finish off this. Then we'll go to the 5th chapter, 5th canto, where the universal sthanam, how it was created and all those things. We will see all those planetary system, but let us finish off this. So Maitreya Rishi started talking about the basic stuff. So Vidura has loved so much. Sometimes, we hear, oh, this devotee is speaking Bhagavatam, he'll speak the same thing. It becomes repetitive. You think, oh, this I know, this I know. Don't be on the intellectual platform. If you hear Bhagavatam at the intellectual platform, at the mental platform, you will not relate it. You feel repetitive. But if you hear from the heart, if you learn to the heart, oh my God, Krishna is so nice, and you want to hear it again, there is no, saturation. You never felt satisfied hearing that. You want to hear again, same pastime only. Where Prahlad Maharaj story only I want to hear. Same Damodara story only I want to hear. That's because you are hearing from the heart. Like Kulashekar Alvar, he is a great king, and he knows that Ramayana is already over, but he was not hearing from the intellectual platform. He was hearing from the heart. Then suddenly he took, oh, somebody is kidnapped Sita, let me go and fight, help Rama. Oh, Rama is fighting, let me go. Take all the soldiers and went. He's not a mad. He was hearing from heart. So this is the example of hearing Ramayana from the heart, and he felt naturally it's happening. I need to obligated to help Lord Ram. That's what the Kulashekar Alvars explained to us, right? So similarly, when you hear Shrimad Bhagavatam from our heart, then you will never be criticize somebody, or you'll say, no, this I know, this I don't know, right? You always want to hear and hear, and oh, this is pastimes of the Lord. You want to hear and again. Uddhava also, when he went to approach Uddhava, then Uddhava started talking about again Krishna Lila Vrindavan. Then Vidura comes again, Maitreya again, you would start about creation, things like that. They want to hear and again. This is one answer. The second question, number 7, how to understand pure Vaishnavas like Pandavas, joke, play, sleep on the same bed, make him watchman, drive the chariot, but he's a supreme personality of Godhead. How can somebody can play, chit-chat with him, sleep on the same bed, joke with him, right? How do you understand this?
They are in the Sakya Bhava, Prabhuji.
No, Arjuna is only Sakya Bhava. Only Arjuna was in Sakya Bhava, not all the Pandavas. Yudhishthira Maharaj, Krishna will bow down.
Intimately in relation with the Lord, Prabhuji.
So they don't know as a supreme personality of Godhead.
That love, Prabhuji,
No, the answer is in, see, everything is, I'm asking this question. I told you to carefully watch the paragraph, and I also highlighted these points when we read our purport. Srila Prabhupada purport is very important. I also talked about Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. Answer to this is this. You can't Achintya Veda Veda Tattva, right? Prabhupada explains that topic, the philosophy, why they are able to do, because Krishna is one and the same. So I will not dwell into more, but you need to read again Srila Prabhupada purport very carefully. Now, the 8th one, what are the instances where devotees holding on, though insulted? I talked about the jugu. It's not that all the time when there's a problem, I leave and go family life and take up something higher cautious, something like that. You need to be careful when to leave, when not to leave, when to work it out and things like that. That's only Acharya can explain, or senior Vaishnavas can explain. So homework for question 9 is that there are so many questions. The Saunakadi Rishi is asking question, Parshit Maharaj is asking question, Vidura is asking question. At least you can compile all first one canto and canto 2. What are the questions in different places, different characters asking, and what is the answer in one line? You don't need to be big paragraph. At least you can list down and circulate in the group as a PDF. Somebody can, relish it, read it, review it. It just acts as a kind of summarizing it, remembering the pastime of the different pastimes in Canto 1 and 2. So somebody, if you're interested, then take out all the questions asked by different people, and what are the answer, either Sukadeva Goswami answers or Krishna answers or Brahma answers, then put together. And it can be a wonderful read, because the entire Bhagavatam is something special. Either it talks about the story or it talks about the conversation. The philosophy is introduced, the philosophy is conveyed through stories, or it conveyed through the conversations. So the important is conversation. Unless Vidura and Parshit Maharaj asking such questions, the Acharya is also like, explaining this philosophies highly. So I would recommend somebody to check if you can do that. That will be nice. I have another 1 minute to take. Then I will quickly summarize what we have seen so far. There are so many lessons. I'm just listing 4 or 5 of them, or 9 of them. The Lord stays in the heart. That's important. The state of consciousness is Vrindavan. The devotee sees miseries as a mercy of the Krishna. Vidura did not think it is a problem. He always thought it's opportunity. Devotees means does not mean that, sir, I need to switch on my internet. Power is gone. Just give me a second. Am I audible still?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, yeah.
Yeah. So devotee life means it is not, walk on the floor petal, right? It is, they have to suffer a lot. Pandava suffered a lot. The great conversation of the
Can't hear Prabhu, you're on mute.
We lost you.
No, I think the network issue. Prabhu just said that there was a power cut. Okay, Haribol. We'll wait for Prabhu to join so that he can complete the last slide. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Lord is not a realized in person. Mother, am I audible?
It's
Yes,
breaking.
now you're audible, Prabhu.
Now you're audible, Prabhu.
Prabhu, you can maybe switch off your video.
I'm back, so I don't know where I left it, but yeah. Okay, I'm finishing with this points. You can read yourself. Thank you very much, Mataji. Over to you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. No, you read only second point.
No, only second point. Rest of you can read it yourself. So third point is unpredictable life for devotees. Pandavas means they did not. It's not devotee means walking on the petals. You need to go through different problems. We can debate why the devotees has to go through. That's a separate topic. So the fourth one is the conversation of the great souls are important. Prabhupada gives 3 pointers why it is important. And hearing Katha respective of the topics. We talked about creation. Again, the devotee is going again, Parshit Maharaj or Vithura, they are talking about, tell me about creation. They did not jump into directly 10th canto. So it shows that you equally love all the topics. So if you love Krishna, you will equally love everything. There is no age limit. He approached Uddhava to be his guru, but Uddhava is out of courtesy rejected it. But otherwise, no age limit. They are all hearing from Sukadeva Goswami. Now, anything satisfies the Lord is non-different from Lord. So home, Pandava's home, it was satisfying Krishna. So it is considered as Vrindavan. So it is expansion of Krishna. So anything which satisfies, only Krishna can satisfy himself. So anything which satisfies Krishna, then it should be considered as Krishna's expansion. Lord is not realized in personal presence. Here from pure Vaishnavas. Lord, you can be closer to him, but it can be realized when through Seva and Vaishnava's discussion, right? So no fear of change. When Vidura has been asked to move out of the house, he never bothered it. It didn't bother him. Oh, that how do I leave family and things like that. So they never bothered about the changes, external changes, because they constantly thinking about Krishna in their mind. So they never be worried about this thing. So there are quite few more learnings from this, whatever we read. But whenever you read, try to read Srila Prabhupada translation and read Prabhupada purport and take 1 or 2 points what Prabhupada is trying to tell practical application. I said hearing from great sages is important, but Prabhupada is translating into ask valid question to the your guru. Otherwise, it's not important. So Prabhupada always brings back to the practical aspect of it in the purport. So when you read Srila Prabhupada text and purport, understand what is the context and Prabhupada see what is the suggestion is giving in our life to adopt. That's very important. So this analytical study is what is supposed to be should do in our studies. Read and come. You ask more questions. I don't want.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, we can't hear you. Haribol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
seventh
Prabhu.
question, Prabhu, can I ask
To read
Mataji?
here, but still many of you are not reading it. That's why. Then the discussion can.
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhu.
I'm okay. I'm done. It's already time. So you take a call, Mataji. What you want?
Prabhu, I think Suma Mataji wants to know something. Suma Mataji, you have some question?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, you said that in the seventh question, like when they played and ate together with the Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Achintya Veda Tattva.
Does that mean that they are one with the Lord, Prabhuji? That is it?
No. Achintya Veda Tattva is different. Krishna is same, at the same time is different. For example, creation, everything is done by Krishna, but is he under the modes of material nature? The answer is no. But who created the modes of material nature? Who agitated the modes of material nature? It's Vishnu. So, one sense he is creating it, but he's not affected by it. Similarly, the Pandavas knows, Kunti Devi knows, you can see her prayers, exalted prayers. She knows Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yudhishthira knows Supreme Personality of Godhead. But out of etiquette, Krishna would touch Yudhishthira Maharaj and Bhima's feet because they are elder to him. Arjuna he would embrace because he's a friend. And Nakula and Sagadeva, younger to Krishna, they would touch Krishna's feet. They know Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhishma knows Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he would shoot an arrow and it will pierce and blood would come. Who would go and shoot an arrow to the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And at the end of the death, you would see the prayers of, amazing Bhishma Manda prayers, right? But they all know perfectly is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the same time, they also have a relation, parental, friend, Sakya or Dasya, whatever form. That is Achintya Veda Tattva. They knew Krishna as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the same time, they could be able to do this. And that's why Prabhupada says this philosophy.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Any other question or comment? Okay, Prabhu. So we'll end the session, Prabhu.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Please forgive me if anything I have spoken something inappropriate. Ancha kalpaturu bhasya kripa sindhudevacha paritanam pavane
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai Gaur Premanande. It was a wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Thank you to all the devotees. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Narayana Mataji.
Yeah, Padma Mataji.
Mataji, yesterday's the second video we didn't get online.
Yeah, what is that, Mataji? Video or you are talking about the presentation?
It is in the video channel, Prabhuji. Mataji. It's in the channel.
YouTube.
Yes,
Why was it not streamed live? Because Tuesdays I'm not coming, Mataji. So I am not taking up the seva. Tuesdays I'm little busy.
It was streamed, Mataji. It was streamed live yesterday also.
Okay.
Yes, it
So
was streamed live, Mataji.
available?
I have the link. You want the link?
Oh, okay.
Available, Mataji.
I will post it in the group.
Yeah,
and nobody
Mataji,
is asking about the presentation. So I think nobody wants presentation.
No, Mataji, we have asked.
We're all eagerly waiting for it. Two presentations, not one.
No, Meenakshi Mataji told me that. So I'm going to send it today itself. Yeah. Prabhu has Prabhu has sent it to me. So I'm going to send it.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Mataji, also the YouTube live, is there a possibility you all can update something like a playlist, Mataji? Because it's like randomly coming, including scriptures. Sometimes we skip the meeting. If there is a playlist which is updated, we can just follow that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So
I'll suggest it to Ashish Prabhu. I'll talk
so
about it. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Thank you all, Matajis and Prabhujis. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
pranam. That's a wonderful session.
Hare Krishna. I'm ending the meeting.